Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to Wilmington Wildcats Weekly here on the Christian Internet Sports Network, as we are roughly 20 minutes or so away from opening kick tonight. The Cats on the road to take on the Seneca Fighting Irish in round 2 of the IHSA playoffs. And let me be the first to say, I am very grateful to be inside the press box tonight. I have been out in the rain and wind and all that in the past, and I'm extremely grateful that Seneca found us a spot in this press box. It's not crazy tonight. It's a steady light rain. It's not some sort of massive downpour. There is virtually no wind. Going to be a cooler night for sure. We're talking, low to mid 40s by the time the game gets underway. But if you're worried about like a driving rainstorm, wind blowing like crazy, that's not what you're going to get tonight. You're just going to get some steady light rain, and it'll be really interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. Being that the Cats are kind of the last time slot here of the weekend, we kind of know where things ended up. So if Wilmington were to win tonight, of course there's a lot to be done before that happens. They would be at home next week because Tri-Valley managed to upset Rock Ridge today, and another undefeated team out of that huge list of undefeated teams, as Rock Ridge ended up falling. And then ultimately the Cats back here to take on their first undefeated team of this particular season, and it could be a number of undefeated teams before it's all said and done with.
Oh, I'm in the room with you, huh?
Well, more or less.
Oh, boy. This ought to be a lot of fun. Two very good teams. And the weather is not helping the Wilmington cause much, but let them come.
Yeah, it's definitely, this is the weather that Seneca wants, because Wilmington is built on cuts and speed. And tonight, cuts and speed, that's going to be taken down a notch. And Seneca's more of that straight-ahead, plow-forward kind of team with a very big left side of their offensive line. And it could be really, really interesting before this thing is all said and done. And on all the nights of the year, for Wilmington to wear all white, tonight they're wearing all white.
Oh, they are.
Those uniforms will not be all white for long. I can promise you that. So it'll be interesting to try to figure that whole thing out before it's all said and done. But Cats getting set to take the field for warm-ups here as we get set for kickoff tonight from Seneca. We're going to take our first break of the night. When we come back, we'll talk about both of these teams and how they ended up here. And we'll take a look at some other things going into this game. We also have an interview with Coach Jeff Reitz coming up, too. This is Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company. Back after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned.
This is Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, live from Seneca tonight, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company as we get set for opening kick in round 2 of the IHSA football playoffs. Wilmington hits the road with their one loss on the year to take on Seneca, who has an undefeated record of 10-0. Let's talk a little bit about how Seneca got here tonight. They had a 47-6 win over Chicago Christian in week 1. That looked like a much better win than what it ended up being, because Chicago Christian kind of come back after their state run last year and just did not have the same type of success this year. In week 2, the Irish won 44-7 over Sangamon Valley, then 50-0 over Clinton, 35-28 over Genoa Kingston in their closest game other than St. Joe Ogden, who we'll talk about in just a second. They defeated Dwight 50-17. By the way, Dwight winning again tonight.
Great.
So that's awesome. It's so awesome to see Dwight winning. They defeated Marquette 43-26. Then Seneca defeated St. Bede 48-16. That win over St. Joe Ogden 39-36 in week 8. In week 9, the Irish won 48-13 over Carlisle. And then the first round of the playoffs, Seneca won 35-21 over Riverdale. So the Irish undefeated coming into this game. So for Wilmington, they lost 27-20 to Morris in week 1. Morris scoring inside the last 15 seconds of that game to get a win. Then the Cats have won every game since. 49-6 over Sandwich, 41-13 over Piatone, 49-7 over Herscher, 49-0 over Mantino, 47-0 over Thornton, 45-0 over Streeter, 54-6 over Reed Custer, 44-21 over Coal City, and 70-8 over West Hancock.
Wow.
That is a run. That is a massive run.
You know, one of the things that Seneca has as an advantage, how do you prepare for Wilmington? You know what Wilmington's bringing. You just got to stop it.
That's very true. You got to make sure that you're taking care of all of your assignments. By the way, that's what Wilmington defensively needs to do tonight. Everybody's got to do their own assignment. You'll hear Coach Reitz talk about that in a little bit. But when you have 3 or 4 guys that can run the football from Seneca, you got to make sure you're keeping track of every single one of those guys every single time that they snap the ball.
Yeah, and if you don't take it, that puts pressure on everybody else down the line. The guys have done a good job of that this year.
Well, let me tell you this. You know, we're playing a team tonight in Seneca that is a run team. That's what they do, is run the football. If you look back at Wilmington's rushing stats from this year, and by the way, Bill Francis, big thank you for not only his view from the bleachers, but also the whole year in review of Wilmington football statistics. Thank you, Bill. The only times they've given up over 100 yards rushing in a game were the very first game to Morris, and that was at 196, so right around 200, and 116 to Piatone. Now we're talking as a team.
Yeah.
The Wildcats have not given up 100 yards rushing in the other 8 games, as a whole. So the closest was Herscher with 98. Then Sandwich with 86. There were 6 games that the Cats gave up 50 yards or less rushing to a team as a whole.
That's playing defense, is what that is.
It's pretty good. It is pretty good. And I will tell you this. If you're looking at Wilmington going, where does all the damage happen? It's in quarter number 2. The Cats have scored 194 of their 468 points this year in quarter 2. Of course, fourth quarter being the lowest, because usually at that point it's a running clock and, you got second or third teams in there. But 118 in the first quarter, 194, almost 200 points scored in 10 games in quarter number 2. That's pretty crazy.
That's consistency, boy. That is really key.
It is a lot of consistency. Now, in case you missed it earlier, Tri-Valley did defeat Rockridge today. So Tri-Valley is sitting there for the Cats, which would be at home. If Wilmington wins tonight, they would host the quarterfinals back at Becker Field at Reed Stadium. So big game tonight for both of these teams. Of course, Seneca wants another home game as well. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how all this plays out. But going to be a good game tonight. Should be a very, very fast game, too, between these two teams.
Very fast game. Sounds kind of strange, but a very physical game. You're going to have the big time linemen on Seneca and the quickness on Wilmington. They're going to try to outwit each other.
All right, let's take ourselves another break. We'll come back with our interview with the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Raines. We'll do that after this timeout. This is Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling, along with all the extras, like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters, too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington. The attorneys and staff at Odekirk & Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk & Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864, visit online at odekirklaw.com, or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, or Wilmington today. Hi, welcome back here on Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company and joined by the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Raines. And boy, Coach, that first round playoff game, you looked at the first quarter like, oh, this team has come to play, and a couple of passes that fall in, and then your team makes a stop inside the 5-yard line, and then you have the penalty that pushes it back. And after that, obviously, things started to steamroll a little bit. But if that wasn't wake-up call for the guys like, oh, hey, it is playoff football time, and teams are going to be ready to go, I don't know what is.
No, you're exactly right. That caught our attention early. I was glad that we were able to bend, don't break early, and with our defense and hold them out of the end zone. And then on offense, we were able to do some good things. We were, very explosive. A lot of kids got touches, and a lot of kids scored touchdowns for us. I'm happy for those guys. No, the score got to be a little bit much. I didn't like it to get to that point, but by the same token, too, our kids played hard, and they played all the way through the game. But you are exactly right. At the beginning of the game, we found out in a hurry they have some athletic receivers, and those guys could go get the football.
And it was nice, again, that's 4 out of 5 weeks or something like that, being at home, and you're there for the first round of the playoffs and kind of get that started. A little odd with a home afternoon playoff game. It's been a little while since that one's happened.
No, and you know what? And part of me is I'm glad we did it, because, it won't be the last one that takes place. And I thought the crowd was good for a Saturday afternoon, and it was ended up being a beautiful day for us. And so we love playing football at night. There's no doubt about that. But to have the afternoon game and have a great atmosphere, playoff atmosphere that we did, I was happy that a lot of the fans showed up for the kids because they were excited about playing in front of them.
Well, now you got a round 2 matchup with a team, obviously, that you ran into a couple of times, a couple of years ago. And a very similar style of offense, still with kind of that T backfield and the sneaky handoff stuff, and you come over there and again old conference game from a number of years ago, and there's a lot of stuff that kind of goes into this matchup. That from a fan standpoint makes it really intriguing.
Yeah, no, it is, and we played Seneca for years. It used to be part of the old I-8, but they've gone their way. My hats off to Seneca and Coach Maxwell with what he's done with that program. He's done a phenomenal job with that program. They've been in the playoffs now consistently, and they're not one and done. They were quarterfinals against us. They were second round last year. Here they are, the second round this year. And to tell you the truth, I would think that this would be a down the line game. Okay, going against a team that hasn't been beaten. But it is what it is. It happens to be the second round, and we're both going to square off against each other. I'm sure it's going to be a great game.
How crazy is it that 2A especially is so loaded? I think there's still 7 undefeated teams sitting there, and there's a truckload of wins compared to losses, and you're getting these matchups. And in some cases, pretty quick here, undefeateds start playing each other.
They do, and you're exactly right. It's loaded. We talked about over the years 3A North being loaded. Mm-hmm. Well, 2A North is making a lot of noise too. I mean, with everybody in there, with Rock Ridge, Seneca. You got, just everybody playing well right now. And, the cream rises, and we're gonna find out exactly where we're at, too, going against a great Seneca team. And, I just think I'm excited because it's going to be a heck of a game. And might be a little rain. We'll see. We'll see what goes on weather-wise, but it's going to be the same way for both of us. So you just got to go play football.
How important is it to take advantage of all your opportunities, being that, you talked the other night at Catbackers about it being a very quick game, and you have two teams that really don't pass the ball. A possession or two here or there can make the difference.
No, it really can be, and I think it's something you got to watch. I think the clock, once you get in possession of the ball, you got to try to get your offense the ball. We need some 3 and outs. We need to play well on special teams, especially if it's raining. You don't want to give up a turnover or something from that standpoint of view. But it's a unique game. I mean, you got 2 run offenses. You throw in the rain a little bit, and can you control the football? And when you do have your long drives, whatever it might be, do you convert? I think that's the biggest thing. You got to convert those into points.
And then lastly here, where do you stand injury-wise?
Yeah, I think Cooper's going to be back playing tight end for us. He had to sit out last week, and he looked really good at practice during the week. So hopefully we're okay there. And then K-Chuck, he got a little bit of a banged-up ankle, but he was able to be okay at practice today, or the other day. And so we're thinking we're full board, ready to go.
All right, Coach, good luck. And again, we'll talk to you post-game.
All right, sounds good.
Spins and Needles on Davy Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davy Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles. The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davy Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILChamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington.
Back here in Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company. Just a few minutes away from opening kick tonight. The 9-1 Wilmington Wildcats on the road in round 2 of the playoffs to take on the 10-0 Seneca Fighting Irish. And boy, oh boy, do we have one for you tonight. Rain coming down. Again, it's not like a downpour type of rain, just a very steady light rain. No wind to speak of. It is colder tonight, too, so it's going to be really interesting. Another key thing to this game is how does the field hold up as we get later and later in this game.
I'm very, very glad to take the seat up here in the drive. Let them go ahead and face it off down there and battle it out. Because I don't like cold weather. I don't like cold, rainy weather. And we got them both tonight.
I've been to some rough games over the years. There's been a couple Illinois games I've been to that it was, I was beginning to think maybe this wasn't a great idea.
You remember that time we went to Morris's game several years back? And it was about 40-mile-an-hour winds and just barely cold enough.
Yep.
Did not freeze.
I remember the time Wilmington went down and was runner-up at state, and it was a blizzard, and we had to go in the bathroom to warm up at halftime. Oh, yeah. Tonight is nothing like any of those nights. But it is enough that I think if this kind of weather favors anyone, it favors Seneca. Seneca is not really built on speed and quick cuts. It's more a straight-ahead run game with some misdirection that gets them free around the outside. Yeah. The Cats are very much built on speed, so it'll just kind of be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out.
I remember the last time we watched them, they had Houdini for quarterback. You couldn't figure out where the ball had gone, who he'd hand it off to, and he had everybody confused.
That he did. All right.
There's the Wildcats back out
We'll take ourselves one more break. We'll come back with opening kick of round 2 after this in the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Quigley Technology Services. Check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916.
Back here on the Christian Internet Sports Network as we get set for opening kick tonight here from Seneca. So the Cats will get set to kick it off. Seneca will get the ball first. Wilmington in all white tonight with purple numbers and purple paw prints. Seneca will be in their green helmets, green jerseys, and black pants. So the Cats will get set to kick it off in the rain here tonight. Not as big of a crowd as there would be if there wasn't a ton of rain, but still a decent crowd tonight. These bleachers are huge, by the way. So the kick by Evan Ostheim comes down to the 14, across the 20, out across the 25, and to the 32-yard line comes the return by Cam Schrei. And Seneca will start up 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line, working left to right in this rain tonight. Again, you will see T formation more often than not for Seneca. Quarterback tonight will be Gunnar Varland, 5'10", 170-pound senior. Fullback is Ethan Olton, 5'7", 155-pound senior. And the running backs will be Cam Schrei, 6'2", 200-pound senior. And off the far side, Varland keeps it, trying to get around the end. Will get out across the 35 to near the 40-yard line. A gain of 7 yards. Billy Moore out there makes the stop. The keeper from Gunnar Varland will bring up 2nd and 3 for Seneca. Cooper Hamilton will do the kicking duties tonight. Liam Knoble is the other running back for Seneca. Liam at 5'8", 180 pounds, and a senior. Will give you their line in just a moment as well. Out of the T formation, up under center is Varland. Handoff comes right side. That's going to go nowhere. Stacked up, Liam Knoble on the carry. Everybody in on that stop for the Cats, but Ketman and Van Dyne make the stop for Wilmington. No gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 3. I guess they'll technically give them 1 to Knoble. Bring up 3rd and 2 for Seneca from their own 41-yard line. Again, up front for the Cats, Logan Van Dyne, Evan Kuipers. Olin sneaks up there and now on that defensive line from that linebacker spot, and this handoff goes nowhere. No gain at all. The Cats all over that. And Knoble will get no yards. It'll bring up 4th down and 2, and we'll see what Seneca elects to do. They're not actually going to go for this, are they? I mean, that'd be crazy, but I'm all for a little crazy. You know me.
Right.
By the way, the stop for the Cats was made by Wilson on the far side. Now keeping it as the quarterback. Pass down the sideline is caught by Schrei down to the 42-yard line of Wilmington. Great play call for Seneca. A gain of 19 yards and a Seneca first down. Boy, great play call. The pass from Varland to Schrei.
What in the world is that?
And first and 10 for Seneca from the Wilmington 40-yard line. Now, if Seneca's going to win this game tonight, that's the kind of stuff they got to do. They need to work in some passing yardage tonight. So the Irish first and 10 from the Wilmington 40, near side hash, working left to right out of the T formation. Varland under center will hand it to the fullback up the middle. Olton on the carry was dragged down by Van Dyne in the middle of the field. A gain of almost 4 to bring up 2nd and 6. Boy, it's so hard to see that handoff. Is so difficult. The one thing Seneca does very well is that little fake game. If you're not paying attention, you can get lost quick. 2nd down and 6 from the Wilmington 36 out of the T formation. Varland under center. Will hand it to Schrei off the left side. Schrei bangs ahead down inside the 30 to the 29. That'll be a gain of 7 yards and a Seneca first down. Billy Moore finally makes the stop. So first and 10 for Seneca. But this is what Seneca does so well. Big offensive line.
Yeah.
Not quick, but just a lot of strength and a lot of size. By the way, up front, Landon Ramsey, 6'4", 260-pound senior. Landon Venencia, 6 foot, 220-pound senior. Jace Mitchell, 6'10", 220-pound senior. Colton Angeloff, 6 foot, 230-pound senior. And a handoff up the middle goes nowhere. Olton on the carry gets wrapped up by the middle of that Wilmington line. And also Race Auckland, 6 foot, 195 pounds. And if you want to throw in the tight ends, Brady Sheedy is 6'4", 205. And Zebediah Maxwell is 6'4", 260.
Boy, don't they go on big man?
That is a huge, huge offensive line.
Wow.
So 2nd down and 10 for Seneca from the Wilmington 29. Again, out of the T formation here. Varland under center. Will keep it himself, and that goes nowhere. Loss of 5 yards on the play. Varland gets wrapped up back there by 2 or 3 Cats. Looked like Olin might have gotten there first. It'll bring up 3rd down and 15 for Seneca. So 3rd down and 15 from the Wilmington 35. Down to 7:05 to go opening quarter. Cats trying to get a stop here early. Again out of the T formation. Varland hands it off to Schrei up the middle. He'll get maybe 4 or 5 back. On that dive play up the middle, looks like Van Dyne in there along with Declan Moran. It'll bring up 4th down and 12 for Seneca. Now the last go round, Seneca went to the air off the play fake, and it was a really nice play.
It sure was. It caught everybody off guard. Took advantage of the quickness of Wilmington and kind of lured them in.
Well, if you're the Cats here, you can leave 2 or 3 guys back by the first down marker. Handoff goes to Olton, and he's not going to get it. Gets down to the 25, and that's it. Not anywhere near a first down. Gets about 6 yards, and Seneca will turn it over on downs. Nothing doing for the Irish on drive 1, and the Cats will take over 1st and 10. Pretty good drive, though.
It was
for
a good
Seneca,
drive.
the first drive of the game.
Some really nice play calling. Had to go going both ways off the run, and then the pass, they caught us off guard.
So Billy Moore, the quarterback, 5'7", 145-pound senior. Wingbacks tonight are Ryan Kettman, 6'3", 185-pound senior, and Nate Couples, 5'9", 170-pound senior. Off the left side it comes. Big hole, and out across the 35 to the 40. And near the 41 goes Ryan Kettman before he's wrapped up. That'll be a gain of 15 yards and a Wildcat self-storage first down.
That's a good start.
Sure is. The fullback tonight will be Ryan Schrager, 5'7", 170-pound junior. Up front for the Cats, Will Wilson, Zach Oland, Declan Moran at one tight end. I believe Cooper Holman's back out there too. Out of the double wing here. Pitch comes left side. This is Kettman again trying to shove the pile ahead. He'll pick up about 5 yards before he's wrapped up. And it'll bring up second down and 5.
Speaking about knowing what Wilmington is going to do, it's very normal to start out with Kettman for a few 2, 3, 4 carries.
By the way, Jack Cutter, the center tonight. Logan Van Dyne up there. Evan Kuipers as well. The Cats face 2nd and 5 from their own 45. Near side hash working right to left. 5:06 to go opening quarter. We said it would be a quick game, and it is going to be a quick game. Out of the double wing, Moore under center. This is Couples off the right side. Across midfield, Nate down to the 47 of Seneca, and a flag late too. So a gain of 8 yards for Nate Couples. We'll see what this penalty flag is. Still looking over. I'm assuming it's some sort of horse collar or face mask.
I thought it was a face mask. But
Personal foul. It is a horse collar on Seneca, so you'll add on 15. So an 8-yard run will give Wilmington a Wildcat self-storage first down. And the Cats will march it another 15 yards all the way down to the Seneca 32-yard line. So they'll wind the clock here as the rain continues to fall. And again, we talked a little bit about this, and I talked with Coach Reitz as well. You want to score as much as you can early in this game, because if the field gets slick and muddy, you never know what can happen after that. Out of the double wing here, 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line of Seneca. Pitch comes left side. Kettman inside the 30, down to the 25 before he's finally tripped up. Gain of 7 yards for Ryan Kettman.
You see the strength he was running with? They were grabbing a hold of him. He was just pulling right through them.
So Schrei on the stop for Seneca, along with Liam Knoble.
Just such strength in his legs. By the way, how does Wilmington's front line measure up pound-wise?
Well, if you look across the board here, Kuipers 6'3", 208. Cutter is 6 foot 225. Zach Oland is 5'11", 240.
I like to have that guy on my team.
Oland's a really good football player. This is Couples, breaks it free. Nate Couples to the house. Touchdown Wilmington. 25 yards out, and the Cats lead it 6-0. Boy, Nate almost completely stopped and just stood there and waited and then took off into the end zone. So Nate Couples scores. The Cats lead 6-0 with 3:35 to go in the opening quarter. And Evan Ostein comes on to attempt the extra point.
Did you happen to notice how many yards?
25 yards
25.
from that touchdown run for Couples. So on comes Ostein out of the hold of Finn Bryant. Evan Kuipers to snap. Snap is a little low, and picking it up is Bryant. He'll just throw it up into the end zone, and it's knocked down. So the weather comes into play there with the wet football, and Finn couldn't quite come up with the snap. So Wilmington will lead it 6-0 with 3:35 to go in the opening quarter. Take a break, come back with more Cats playoff football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair.
Well, back here, Wilmington leads at 6-0 with 3:35 to go in the opening quarter. As Evan Ostheim will get set to kick it off right to left. Hey, you know a little while ago when I said it was just kind of a light, steady rain? Forget that.
Take that back.
It is no longer a light, steady rain. It's just rain. Out across the 25 to the 30. On the run goes Knoble. On the kickoff turn, Van Dyne on the stop for the Cats. And Seneca will take over 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line right in the middle of the field. Again, Seneca working left to right. Boy, that rain is just – it's a good thing this field is in really good shape because by the end of this game, it's not going to be.
Yeah, it's we get a good rain with this game going on in the field at the same time. Oh,
out of the T formation here. Fumble on the snap. And Gunnar Varland will have to get back on top of the football to bring up 2nd and 12. That is the problem right now, is hanging on to the football. There are going to be turnovers in this game. There are going to be dropped passes. There's going to be dropped snaps. It's going to happen. The thing is, what team capitalizes on those turnovers? You saw right there, just can't handle the snap. On the extra point, snap went awry too. It's just kind of one of those nights. Out of the T formation in here, 2nd and 12 from the Seneca 28, and another fumbled snap. And Varland will get wrapped up, and another loss of a yard. Well, Seneca's going to have to come up with a different plan of attack on snap of the football, I'll tell you that much. I think, honestly, what needs to happen, if we're going to be real honest here, the officials setting the football should not be setting the football until they come to the line of scrimmage.
That would be a great help.
And he's setting the football way too early, and it's just getting so. Just stay there until the center breaks, put the ball down, and get out of the way. 3rd down and 13 out of the T formation. Varland under center. And was it another fumbled snap? That's 3 fumbled snaps in a row. And Seneca's going to have to punt it away, but as bad as the center quarterback exchange has been, I hate to see what's going to happen on a punt return. By the way, if I'm Mr. Kettman, I don't field anything. And I mean anything. I let that ball just go wherever it's going to go. Well, now Seneca missing somebody. They're going to run on a couple of guys, actually.
Yeah, they might
and now
they might need those couple
the Irish are going to need a timeout. All kinds of problems in the punt game. 1:31 to go in the opening quarter. The Irish are going to be forced to punt it away. We'll take a break. Come back with more Cats playoff football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned. Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling along with all the extras like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington.
So Seneca going to be forced to punt it away, but it has been a little bit of a mess on some of these kicks. Actually, a pretty good punt this go-round. Mr. Kettman says, you know what? No.
He didn't even move.
I'm not even going to bother with this. It'll roll dead at the Wilmington 25. There's the infamous sideline warning flag.
Oh,
Somebody
boy.
was standing in the way. Got to get that one out of the way here at the beginning of the game. We haven't seen it that much this year, quite
No,
frankly.
we really haven't.
So a 50-yard kick, there's your sideline warning against Wilmington. You got to get one of those a game. So they'll move everybody back.
Now we can play the rest of the game.
Now, for the Cats, they need to hang on to the football. There have been a lot of fumbles in this game.
If they can hang on to that football and run off about 8 to 10 plays in a row and score.
I do like the way the running backs have been running the ball, though, which is kind of taking their time and then just breaking free instead of going 100 miles an hour. All right, out of the double wing, 1st and 10 for the Cats from their own 24, working right to left, far hash mark. And handoff right side. This is Couples for a gain of maybe 2 or 3 yards. Give him 2. Bring up 2nd down and 8. Angela on the stop for Seneca to bring up 2nd down and 8 with 1 minute to go here in the opening quarter. So Couples rotates out.
You see that field already? It's starting to show through.
I said, listen, if you go back to our conversation earlier, I'd be tempted to take the ball first.
Yeah, you had a good idea.
Because this field could get muddy, and it could get muddy quick. Out of the double wing, tight end split way out on 2nd and 8. I don't know who ended up with that. I thought Schrager was supposed to have it, but he ended up not having the football, and it ends up being a Wilmington 1st down. A gain of 10 yards. I have no idea who ended up with that football.
Somebody carried it, but no, I don't know.
Was it No, it was Kachuk. So Hunter Kachuk on the carry. I'm surprised he ever got the ball.
How many yards? 10 yards?
11, I think, officially. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Wilmington leads it 6-0 at the end of the first quarter over Seneca. Take a break. Come back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
The attorneys and staff at Odekirk and Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk and Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864, visit online at odekirklaw.com, or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, or Wilmington today. Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davie Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles.
All right, start of quarter number 2.
Clifton Central 14, 1A playoffs. Dwight 43.
So Dwight beats Clifton Central 43-14
Wow.
tonight. Wow.
Good times to hear again.
And I mean, I'm shocked by that because Clifton Central's football team was pretty good. They weren't bad. So wide splits in the tight ends here. 1st and 10 after the Wildcats self-storage 1st down on the last carry. Billy Moore going to keep it himself across the 40 out to the 42-yard line. That'll be a gain of 6 yards. Give the Cats 2nd down and 4 from the Wilmington 42-yard line. It's really interesting the way that Barry Southall's offense has kind of evolved this year because you never really used to see quarterback runs. I mean, it was every now and then.
That's true.
But it has become a staple. And you know what we haven't seen? Double handoffs, which used to be a staple.
That used to be all the time.
So it's evolved a little bit. Off the right side, Kachuk runs over a defender, still going down to the Seneca 47-yard line. Ran right over the defender. That was old time. And that'll be a gain of 8 yards and a Wildcat self-storage first down to the Seneca 47-yard line.
Who carried that ball?
Hunter Kachuk.
Kachuk. Oh,
Kachuk, speaking of future years, Hunter, a 5'11", 180-pound sophomore. He's going to be a good one next year. Schrager will be back in that backfield too. Out of the double wing, wide splits with the tight ends. And Billy Moore going to keep it again, dives ahead, and he'll get about 4 yards. Bring up 2nd and 6. 10:30 to go here in this first half.
kind of unusual for Billy Moore to get carrying the ball so soon, too. But that's one less handoff.
And I think for a team like Wilmington, I mean, outside of the speed issue, I guarantee you some of these guys are liking this weather tonight. Zach Olin seems like one of them. Like, he's just going to go out there and be like, this is amazing.
Zach, have a great time. I'll just stay up here.
Just watching him play football
it is fun.
It is so much fun. Out of the double wing, 2nd and 6. Pitch comes right side again. Kachuk ran out of some room, spun away, and then tried to shove the whole pile ahead. He'll pick up about 4 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the Cats. I do think if there was not rain tonight, the Cats would have scored 2 or 3 touchdowns by now. I really honestly believe that. I think they've had to be so careful with the way they've approached the line of scrimmage. That's kind of tippy-toe here and there. And that play was a good example right there. Kachuk had all kinds of room, but you just don't want to make quick cuts tonight. 3rd down and 2 from the Seneca 39. Out of the double wing, 9:15 and counting here in the first half. This is Kettman off the left side, and he gets down inside the Seneca 35 to the 34-yard line. A gain of 5 yards and a Wildcat self-storage first down. Speaking of Mr. Olin, he gets up off that pile, and his uniform is not going to be recognizable for much longer.
No, it's not.
1st and 10 for the Cats from the 34 of Seneca. 8:55 to go in the opening half. And again, for the Cats, using all this clock is exactly what you want to do. This is the number one goal here. Get points and use the whole clock.
Yep. Get the clock used. A few points here and there along the way.
8:40 and counting. Pitch comes right side. Kachuk trying to get the edge inside the 30, 25, 20. Kachuk all the way down to the 19 before he's tripped up.
Did a little 360 move there.
A gain of 15 yards and a Wildcat self-storage first down. Oh, by the way, let me go back in here and change my scoreboard. Never made it quarter 2. Here we go. Boy, good run by Kachuk. The one thing that makes me nervous, though, is getting out in open territory and people behind you, especially when the ball is wet. Makes me nervous. I don't know about anybody else, but 1st and 10 for the Cats from the 19 of Seneca. Wide splits again from the tight ends out of the double wing. Near side hash. Billy Moore up the middle. Still going. Moore all the way down to the 10-yard line. Billy finally gets tripped up by Otan, but a gain of 9 yards. Maxwell in there, too, to bring up 2nd down and a yard for Wilmington. So the Cats on the move yet again.
Well, it looked like he was going to stop for not much of a gain, and he just kept going.
Boy, it is really coming down now. That light rain is now a thing of the past.
Yeah.
It's not like a driving downpour either, but it's a steady rain.
It's enough to affect everything.
2nd down and a yard from the Seneca 10-yard line. Billy Moore up the middle. He's going to get the first down to the 8-yard line, enough for a Wildcat self-storage first down. I'll see what the Cats do here. Fresh set of downs, but 8 yards to go to get to the end zone. So Moore will pick up 2. Wilmington knocking on the door yet again. 7 minutes and counting here in this first half. So Billy would bring everybody back up to the line of scrimmage here. Out of the double wing. Kettman to one side. Kachuk to the other. Kachuk in motion. Gets the pitch off the right side. Inside the 10. Inside the 5. Hunter Kachuk is in for the touchdown. There is a flag down. A late flag. This might bring it back, though. We'll see. It is a block in the back on Wilmington. So that'll bring it back.
That's what you don't need.
That's correct. That makes it difficult for sure if you get those blocks on the edge and they're not exactly where they need to be. So the Cats are going to go from first and goal from the 8 to first and goal from the 13. Oh, actually, it'll be out to the 18-yard line. That is a huge penalty on the Cats. That is a big, big penalty. 6:38 to go in the opening half. And you have a night like tonight, little things like that can make a huge difference.
Yeah, we don't want to start getting that direction.
So rain continues to fall. Wide splits out of the double wing here. Moore under center. Handoff, Kettman up the middle, inside the 10. Kettman's breaking tackles and walks into the end zone. Ryan Kettman, 18-yard touchdown run, broke at least 4 tackles and had 2 of them right at the end. And Ryan Kettman just walks into the end zone and makes it a 12-0 Wilmington lead on an 18-yard touchdown run with 6:33 to go in the opening half.
That's key, too. He took the penalty, had to back up, and the next play he'd run it in.
Well, I think the Cats are just going to throw the extra point out the window. Quite frankly, it's not a bad idea. Just go for 2. So Billy Moore up under center. Kettman off the left side. And I don't think he got there. Got down to maybe the 2 or the 1. It is no good. The Cats lead it 12-0 over Seneca with 6:33 to go in the opening half. Take a break. Come back with more Cats playoff football after this in the Christian Internet Sports Network.
The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILChamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington. Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com.
So the Cats lead at 12-0 with 6:33 to go in the opening half. Evan Ostheim on the kickoff. It will come short down to the 30, and a fair catch called for and made by Gunnar Varland. And Seneca will have it 1st and 10. Now the key here is if Wilmington can make a defensive stand and get the ball back, they also get the ball to start the second half. So, again, the Cats have done a good job of doubling up at the end of halves so far this year, but got to make a defensive stop first.
Yeah, they sure can use that to stop right now.
All right, so 1st and 10 for Seneca from their own 30-yard line off the near side hash, working right to left. I feel like my back's going to give out as much as I've had to look around the corner of this thing so far. Varland trying to keep it. That's not going to work. Loses a yard, maybe 2. The Cats all over that. Kuipers got out there in a hurry and wrapped that up. 2nd down and 11 for Seneca as the rain continues to fall. I don't know, what's the temp right now? Let's take a look.
What's the temperature?
Yeah. It's at 43 degrees.
At least it's not freezing.
Out of the T formation again. And another fumble on the ground. And does Wilmington have it? They do. The Cats force a fumble and recover at the 24-yard line of Seneca. The Irish just cannot hang on to the football on the center quarterback snaps. Couples comes away with it.
Well, that's crucial help for Wilmington. If they can score one more before the halftime. Like you said, they get the ball starting second half.
It is officially 44 degrees in what is a rainstorm here, so it is not beautiful, that's for sure. But
wait a minute, are you the official?
More or less. Out of the double wing, wide splits again. Off the left side, Kettman, boy, there's just nothing there. Really good job. Kind of a submarine tackle on the inside for Seneca. Maxwell just made sure to get in his way. And Cats will have it 2nd and 9 from the Seneca 23-yard line. I've literally had to lean out this window the entire first half. All the action has been inside the 30-yard line over here.
For me, it's been great.
Out of the double wing, this is again Kettman off the left side. Gets tripped up inside the 20. Down around the 19 after a gain of 4. Bring up 3rd and 5 for the Cats. 4:50 and counting here in the first half. And again, this is a much slower pace of running the football for Wilmington than what it typically is, but you just want to make sure that you hang on to the football, get positive yards.
And here's the weather. Running 2 almost sure points on field. Try after touchdown. They lost 2 points there.
All right, 3rd down and 5 for the Cats. And we have a timeout to Seneca. 4:19 to go in the half. The Irish use a timeout. Be back with more Cats playoff football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955.
Again, the rain has really made a huge difference in the way Wilmington has attacked this game tonight, but the Cats still lead at 12-0. 3rd down and 5 from the Seneca 19. Wide splits out of the tight ends again. And Billy Moore going to keep it himself. Moore inside the 10, still going all the way down. Well, they might call him down right around the 10. Be a gain of 9 and a Wildcat self-storage 1st down.
Billy Mosier's had three runs for 9 yards apiece, and then a couple of 6 and 4 and 2 add on to it. He's been busy tonight.
Yeah, Mr. Moore has taken his share, and it's really important that Billy gets those carries. It just takes the pressure off those wingbacks. By the way, Couples back in on the far side, and Kettman over here on the near. Couples in motion, gets the pitch, trying to get around the edge, inside the 10, makes a move, inside the 5. Nate Couples into the end zone for a touchdown. That is a 10-yard touchdown run, and the Cats lead it 18-0 with 3:35 to go in the opening half. Good patient run from Nate Couples.
You realize that Nate has had 2 touchdowns tonight?
That he is.
He'd like to get used to that, wouldn't he?
So,
you going to try to kick this time?
I don't think so. I think they're just going to go for 2. The rain has just made it so difficult. So 18-0 the lead for the Cats, 3:35 to go in the half. Wilmington going to try a 2-point conversion here.
Big up the middle, roll out to the left, and hit a guy in the end zone.
That would be shocking.
It was
Pitch comes right side. This is Couples again, and he's in for the 2-point conversion.
There we go.
20-0 is the lead for Wilmington. 3:35 to go in the opening half. Take a break. Back with more Cats second-round playoff football after this.
Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900.
Cats lead at 20-0, 3:35 to go here in this opening half. Wilmington will get the ball to start the second half as well. And as we noted, the Cats have scored about 200 points in quarter number 2, and they've scored a couple more times tonight in quarter number 2. This bounces down, gets all the way down to the 13, and then diving on it back at the 13-yard line is Braden Simic. And that's going to put Seneca way back in their own territory.
First and 10 Irish.
And we'll see what Seneca does here. This team is not built to pass the ball a ton. So
I hope they wait a long time before starting it. I don't know. We got a couple of good defensive backs. Billy Moore is fantastic.
yeah, to have Seneca go full-blown passing, especially in the rain, is just, I don't think that's
It's not a
very
good,
plausible.
probably not a good idea.
Out of the T formation here. Keeping it is Varlin, and he's wrapped up back at the 10. Nothing doing. Will Wilson back there for the Cats. And that'll be a loss of 4 yards, almost 5, bring up second down and 14.
Second down and 14 for the Irish.
So the clock running down to 3 minutes. By the way, this entire second quarter has been inside this 30-yard line. And if you were here in person to see me, I literally have to lean out, almost out the window. Varlin rolls right side, fires incomplete. He was pressured back along the goal line, tried to get rid of the football, and there was nobody open. He just got rid of it. And it'll bring up 3rd and 14 for Seneca.
Oh, I shouldn't wear I'm not in those uniforms out there. That wet, cold, wet uniforms.
And the bad part about it is, if I was them, I'd just want to keep playing at this point. I wouldn't want to go sit down for
Well, yeah, that's
15,
true.
20 minutes. Like, I'm good. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, I played a game of soccer one time. Bob Jones, and man, it poured down half the rain. The place was underwater.
And again, a big loss on the play. Back around the 5-yard line. That is Otan. He'll lose another, I don't know, what is that? 2. Well, they're going to give him forward progress, so a loss of 2, and it'll bring up 4th down and 16. 2:30 and counting here in this first half. The Cats could score again and also get the ball to start the second half.
That would be a big help to the Cats.
So Billy Moore and Ryan Kettman both back deep to return this punt. That doesn't happen very often for the Cats. They're
Yeah.
usually in single safety.
Yeah, make sure you don't fumble that kick.
Yeah, I think I'd just let it ride here a little bit. So Seneca letting that play clock go down, and probably use their last time out here would be my guess. They do. 1:58 to go in the half. 20-0 Wilmington. They'll get the ball back here momentarily. This is Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair.
All right, so Seneca going to be forced to punt it away here, and now the Cats change it up a little bit, and they just put Ketman back deep.
That's what I did, like you said. Let him be back there just in case.
Yeah, if it rolls in front of you or something, you can pick it up cleanly, fine. Otherwise, I don't go anywhere near anything. So, good snap. Kick is a line drive. Ketman going to let it bounce. Takes a big bounce. He picks it up at the 40, 35, 30. Ketman, 25, 20. Ketman goes into the end zone, but there is a flag down back out around the 30. And the Wilmington coaching staff is furious at that flag. So they'll back it up. The Cats will start somewhere around the 40. So that'll back the Cats up 10 yards. Coaching staff not too happy. However, I can't say anything because I didn't see it at all.
I didn't see it, but
I'm not saying it either did or didn't. I didn't see it at all.
People next door said, boy, was that a block in the back.
Could have been. I was looking up the field, wasn't looking back there. So 1st and 10 for the Cats from the Seneca 40. The Wilmington still has plenty of time, by the way. 1:44 to go in the half and 3 timeouts. Now, we did talk a little bit about Wilmington has not done the double handoff.
No.
Maybe at all this year. One time, maybe once.
Maybe once early in the season. I don't know.
It has not shown up.
Since then, they have not.
The power I has also not been a part of things this year. Out of the double wing from the 40-yard line. Pitch comes left side. Ketman inside the 35. Gets tripped up there. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5. There is a player down for Wilmington.
Oh, no.
Trying to see who that is. Kate Shuck will rotate back in. It might be Couples. Who knows? 1:35 to go. By the way, be sure to stick around for the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net. Big thank you to Pro Real Estate for sponsoring each and every halftime show this year.
How many yards did Ketman get that time? Like 8?
I got 6 yards. The Cats use their first time out. By the way, on the halftime show, we'll have your first half stats, and we'll have a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard, playoff edition, brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. We'll get you set for the second half as well. And I think it might be Couples. It is Nate Couples, as he'll limp off to the near side, and that's one that you need down the stretch, though.
Yeah, you need that guy.
Kate Shuck has done a wonderful job, but Couples defensively is very important too. So
you forget about that too. Yeah, he plays both ways.
So Couples will come out limping under his own power.
Boy, he's limping bad.
That's at least a good sign. So there's a timeout to Wilmington here.
Yeah, they did let him walk off.
So the Cats will have 2 timeouts left, 2nd and 4 from the Seneca 34-yard line. Nate walking over underneath the tent on the near side. I don't know if it's a knee or what, but the trainer coming over there to take a look at Nate. Not too happy. However you want to slice it here is Mr. Couples.
No, that's one thing you're worried about, especially in this wet weather. You can get an injury so quickly with your feet slipping out from under you.
All right, so Kachuk rotates in. That is one thing that the Cats have in their favor. They go 3 deep in running backs, so they still got 2 that play on a regular basis. And Schrager and Nash Rink also rotate a lot at that fullback spot. So there is some other experience back there, but you need Mr. Couples.
Yes, you do.
So he's over here on the sideline getting looked at. Meantime, 2nd and 4 for the Cats from the 34 of Seneca. Billy Moore keeps it himself, and he gets stacked up after a gain of a couple. Schrei makes the stop. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3 with 1:20 and counting here in the first half. Again, out of the double wing, packed in this time. Billy Moore going to keep it again. And Moore, I don't know if he got the first down or not. They're going to stop the clock just in case. And it is a Wildcat self-storage first down. Now for the Cats, they don't need to take a timeout here. They're winding the clock, and Cats need to get up on the football. 1:04 and counting, and Wilmington taking their time, and they need to get up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 from the 30 of Seneca, right in the middle of the field, working left to right. This is Kachuk off the right side. Kachuk inside the 25, inside the 20. Kachuk to the 15, and finally gets tripped up down around the 13-yard line. That is a gain of 17 yards and a Wildcat self-storage first down.
Gain of 17 on the play.
Down to the 13. We'll take ourselves a quick timeout. Be back with more with Cats Playoff Football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned.
Wilmington leads at 20-0 over Seneca with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Wilmington will have 1 timeout left. Hey, guess which side of the field they're on? All the way over here on the right side of the field.
You're still leaning out the window.
I swear, this entire first half, I've been like bending outside the press box. All right, so 45 seconds to go in the half. Cats have it 1st and 10 from the Seneca 13 off the near side hash, working left to right. Pitch comes left side. Kachuk again inside the 10, inside the 5. Hunter Kachuk is into the end zone. There's another flag down. So the Cats will be with the, I don't know if it's a holding penalty or a block in the back here, either one, off the right side. Are we going to get an actual call from anybody, or are we just going to assume things here? So illegal block in the back for the Cats. Down at the 13-yard line. So it'll go right back where Wilmington just was at the 13-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal from there. Or 1st and 10 from there, sorry. With 39 seconds to go in the half. So basically all that happened was 6 seconds went off the clock. Again, out of the double wing with those wide splits. And left, or make that right side. Kachuk down to the 11. Anderson makes the stop. And there is a timeout to Wilmington here. Will be the last timeout of the half. Well, the Cats have had some big penalties tonight. I mean, they're winning 20-0, but penalties wiped out a kickoff return or punt return for a touchdown, a 13-yard touchdown run. Both of those got called back, or else, the Cats ended up scoring on the other one anyway, and may here, who knows. But those are big penalties nonetheless.
Those are huge penalties.
All right, 32 seconds to go in the opening half. Wilmington leads at 20-0. They are now out of timeouts. 2nd and 8 from the 11-yard line. Now, the one thing that's in your favor if you're Wilmington, 32 seconds is quite a bit of time. So you could conceivably run at least 2 plays here. So the Cats, I'm sure, have a couple of plays called, breaking this huddle. See what Wilmington does here. 2nd down and 8 from the Seneca 11. 32 seconds to go in the half. And Billy Moore going to keep it himself up the middle. Moore all the way down near the 5. And Schrei makes the stop. Wilmington going to have to get up and do something here, down to 15 seconds.
I mean, you get 5 yards?
And the Cat's going to pitch it right side. This is Kachuk, and he is in for the touchdown. Hunter Kachuk off the right side. 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cats will score, making it 26-0 with 7 seconds to go in the opening half. Wilmington will get set for whatever they're going to try for the extra point here. I'm assuming it's going to be 2-point conversion.
I don't think they'll try kicking it now either.
So the Cats, again, the second quarter has been their quarter for scoring. They've scored over 200 points now in the second quarter this year. In fact, they're rolling up 220 or so in the second quarter. And it snowballs a lot inside the last 6 minutes usually. This is Kettman left side. And he gets in for 2. And that'll make it 28-0, the lead for Wilmington, with 7 seconds to go in the half. So the Cats score again, and Seneca going to have to return a kick here, but if I'm the Irish, I'm really, really careful with this kickoff return.
Yeah.
And just to get to the locker room at this point. Rain still coming down, by the way. It has not let up since we left the house earlier. It started off with a light rain, and the closer we got to Seneca, it evolved into a steady rain, not heavy, just a steady rain, and it has stayed a steady rain the entire time that we have been here. I will tell you this, though. This field has held up remarkably well. I thought it had been chewed up way more than this at this point. So the Cats lead at 28-0. Evan Ostheim will get set to kick it off left to right.
Ostheim to tee it up for Wilmington. Schrei and Seneca deep for the Irish.
So the kick here, line drive right down the middle of the field. And down it right around the 25, maybe the 24. And Seneca will have one play left here in this first half as Wilmington continues to roll. Boy, the Cats, since that week 1 loss to Morris, which Wilmington almost won, the Cats, no one's really come close since that point. So 1st and 10 for Seneca from their own 25. Rain continues to fall out of the T formation here. Varland dropped the football again. That's the last thing you need if you're Seneca is another turnover. And a loss of 2 will bring us to the half. Wilmington leads it 28-0 over Seneca here at the end of half number 1. Welcome into the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll look at your first half stats, and we'll have a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard from Odekirk and Rhodes. We'll do all that and more after this break on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling, along with all the extras, like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters, too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington. The attorneys and staff at Odekirk and Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk and Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864. Visit online at odekirklaw.com or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, or Wilmington today. Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davie Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles.
This is the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and also at 815-476-7916. The Cats lead it 28-0 at the half over Seneca. Wilmington will also get the ball to start the second half in what continues to be a really steady rain here. But the Cats have thoroughly dominated this game.
Yeah,
Seneca, if you go back to West Hancock last week, Hancock had a really good first drive of the game. And actually probably should have scored a touchdown at some point, but got down to the one. That was it. And then after that point, though, it was done. And Seneca tonight had a pretty good drive one, got down inside the Wilmington 30, and then it stalled out. And since then, the Cats have been under control.
Yeah, and they've contributed to their own demise by having, 4 or 5 fumbles. And this weather, I'm not picking on them. This is terrible weather to play in.
It for sure is. And those haven't all been turnovers, but what has happened is all the drop snaps just pile up, and then you end up with 2nd and 11, 3rd and 11, and it just puts Seneca in a spot that they don't want to be in, which is, 2nd, 3rd and long, and then 4th and long, and the Irish just have not been able to really get much of anything going. Speaking of which, let's get to your first half stats. First off, for the Seneca Fighting Irish, rushing the football, Gunnar Varlin, 8 rushing attempts for -8 yards. Ethan Oton, 4 carries for 7 yards in that first half. Liam Knoble, 2 carries for 2 yards. And Cam Schrei, 2 carries for 11 yards. Seneca, 16 rushing attempts, 22 yards in the first half. Gunnar Varlin was 1 of 2 passing the football. Yes, somebody did actually try to pass tonight.
Yes, they did.
A gain of 9 yards to Cam Schrei. And if you put it all together, 31 yards of total offense for Seneca in the first half, and almost all of that was in the first drive. Actually, it was all in the first drive.
I think. They didn't, because they didn't sometimes make any yards. Sometimes they lost yards in possession.
All right, for Wilmington, rushing the football, Billy Moore, 8 rushing attempts for 38 yards. Ryan Kettman, 7 carries for, is that 61 or 69 yards? 69 yards and a touchdown. Nate Couples, 4 carries for 45 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hunter Kachuk, 7 rushing attempts, 83 yards and a touchdown. In the first half, Wilmington, 26 rushing attempts, 237 yards and 4 touchdowns. And the Cats also had a punt return for a touchdown that was called back due to a penalty. So pretty much everything that Wilmington tried in the first half worked. And Seneca has such a large uphill battle. I mean, first off, it's steady rain. They have not been able to move the football on the ground. Even if they could pass the football, which I'm not saying Seneca can't entirely, but even if they could, I don't know how you would tonight.
I would say this kind of weather makes it difficult for them.
So it puts them in a situation where I don't really know what you do, quite frankly, other than just do what you normally do. Go to the T formation and
Blast
just
away.
keep churning out some yards and hope
Away.
something breaks. By the way, the Cats do get the football to start the second half as well. Wilmington leads it 28-0 over Seneca here at the half. Halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and also at 815-476-7916. Take a break. Come back with a full check of the football scoreboard after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILChamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington. Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's.
Back in the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and also at 815-476-7916. As we'll have a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes here in just a moment. Cats lead it 28-0 here at the half over Seneca. Let's go to the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. In 2A, Tri-Valley actually beat Rockridge today, 24-17, which means if Wilmington hangs on, they'll be at home next week to take on Tri-Valley. Let's see, El Paso Gridley, 31-0. We'll get back to this in just a second. Over Sterling Newman Central Catholic. Wow, that's a surprising score.
Yeah,
Farmington defeated Aurora Christian today, 21-14. And 2A South, Maroa Forsyth, 41-6 over Johnston City. These are finals, by the way. Flora, 17, Pena, 14. Westville, 49-13 over DuQuoin. And give us, there we go. Cumberland lost today to Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond, 41-22. That's the other one in 2A. All right, let's go down to, what do we got next? 1A? All right, Stockton, 26-3 over Hayworth. These are all finals again. Dwight, 43, Clifton Central, 14. The Trojans keep going. Anawan Weathersfield, 33-26 over Deer Creek Mackinac. Lena Winslow, 43-14 over Gibson City. 1A South, Calhoun 22, Greenfield 14. Casey Westfield 48-14 over Nokomis. Brown County 16, Camp Point Central 8. Carrollton 34-19 over DuPont. In 3A, Richmond Burton 57-7 over Aurora Central Catholic. Monmouth Roseville 29, Bloomington Central Catholic 28. Byron 38-12 over Durand Pecatonica. And on Friday night, IC Catholic 37-27 over Bishop Mack, ending their undefeated season. Williamsville 53-14 over Porta. Delano Unity 41-20 over Monticello. Vandalia 42-21 over Greenville. St. Joe Ogden 42-32 over Roxana. We'll keep going here in just a second. We're dealing with a few weird issues with the laptop at the moment, and we'll see if we can scroll down a little bit farther here in just a second. All right, so we've gone through 4A. All right, we'll just do it this way. Let's see here. Give me just a moment here. In 4A, Geneseo 29-0 over Macomb. Sacred Heart Griffin 45-15 over Carterville. Breeze Central 42, Freeburg 7. Cahokia 36-13 over Jacksonville High School. And Montini 47-17 over Notre Dame. Morris in a shootout 64-50 over Metamora. In 5A, Wheaton St. Francis 41-38 over Prairie Ridge. That's a good one there. Oak Forest 34, Bloomington 14. Washington 38-14 over Mahomet Seymour. Providence Catholic 35-25 over Kankakee. So I think that eliminates every school in the city of Kankakee. I think they all lost this weekend. Let's see here. In 6A, Lake Zurich 35-0 over Antioch. Simeon 36, Normal Community West 21. Fenwick 45-7 over Rolling Meadows. East St. Louis 53-14 over Chatham Glenwood. Dunlap 28, Crete Monee 21. Naz 28-7 over Wheaton Warrensville South. In 7A, Downers Grove North 19-7 over Glenbard West. St. Rita 31, Lincoln Way Central 28, and a good one there. Lincoln Way West 43-20 over Kenwood. Carroll Stream, and then Glenbard North 22-14 over Moline. In the second quarter, Brother Rice leads Jacobs 32-0. In 8A, Maine South 33-29 over Hinsdale Central. Oswego 45, Lane 10. Mount Carmel 48-29 over Belleville East. Lockport 8-7 over Homewood Flossmoor. That game is at halftime. So just run back up here quickly to 2A so we can make one more run through that. Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond 41-22 over Cumberland. Flora 17-14 over Pana. Westville 49-13 over DuQuoin. Maroa Forsyth 41-6 over Johnston City. Tri-Valley upsets Rockridge 24-17. And Farmington 21-14 over Aurora Christian. El Paso Gridley 31-0 over Newman Central Catholic with 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. So there you go. That is a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard, brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. We're here on the halftime show, brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and also at 815-476-7916. Take ourselves a timeout. We'll come back, get you set for half number 2 in just a couple of minutes. And this is Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900.
Back here on the halftime show, brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and also at 815-476-7916. Wilmington leads it 28-0 over Seneca here at the break. We are about 2 minutes away from the start of half number 2. As the Cats will receive to start the second half. And you know, while we have a few minutes, we went over all the high school scores. We might as well go over some of the college scores as well while we have them sitting here in front of us. And the craziest game of the day, I watched the end of this one. Indiana stayed number 2 in the country, maybe higher, who knows, but I think they're going to stay number 2, with a 27-24 win over Penn State. The touchdown grab, you have to go back and see the touchdown catch that Indiana took the lead on with like 30 seconds left. It's crazy at the end of that game. But Indiana does get a win. Ohio State will probably stay number 1. They beat Purdue 34-10. Texas A&M 38-17 over Missouri. Georgia 41. Mississippi State 21. Ole Miss had a really tough game today. They scheduled the Citadel in the middle of the year, and they won 49-0. Texas Tech 29-7 over BYU in a battle of a couple of top 10 teams, and Texas Tech no issues there. Oregon barely hangs on to win at Iowa 18-16. Speaking of a game that had a bunch of rain in it. Vanderbilt 45-38 over Auburn in overtime in a shootout there. Miami 38-10 over Syracuse. Wisconsin beats Washington tonight 13-10.
You're kidding.
Now, it was probably raining or whatever like this too, and that basically destroys anything Washington has going. But games going on right now. Number 14, Virginia, 6-0 over Wake Forest in the second quarter. Louisville and Cal tied at 10 in the second. Alabama and LSU scoreless almost the end of the first quarter. By the way, last night too, USC blew out Northwestern 38-17. All right, all that's just to kill a bunch of time here on the halftime show. Usually we have a truckload of scores, but being that we're getting farther and farther down the board in IHSA here,
we are eliminating them.
now we're just going to other stuff. All right, so the Cats will get set to return the kick to start quarter number 3. Wilmington leads at 28-0. Little kick, it's just sent up in the air. And now Cats tried to pick it up, but
That's not
that
a good
was
idea.
a bad idea. And I think that's Nash Rink out there. And he finally was just like, you know what, forget this. I'm just going to dive on it, which he did do. So the Cats will take over 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line, just underway here in quarter number 3. Nash out there trying to pick it up. He keeps telling his head, he's like, all right,
Forget it.
this isn't worth it. So Billy Moore back out there. Those white uniforms that Wilmington had, the all-white uniforms, are
Not all white.
no longer all white. So the wide splits in the tight ends out of the double wing here. Couples back in, by the way. And a handoff goes up the middle. I believe this is Ryan Schrager, the fullback on the carry. He will pick up about 7 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 3 off the fullback dive. Really, really good to see Nate Couples back in, too, who went out with an injury earlier.
I was just thinking as we were coming in the second half that not only is the score important to us, but Couples.
So Billy Moore heads back out there. Rain continues to come down, 11:20 and counting here in the third quarter, about 43 degrees at the moment here in Seneca.
Not a good time for
On the double wing again, Schrager, the fullback up the middle, just slams ahead. He'll pick up about 6 yards and enough for a Wildcat self-storage first down as Schrei on the stop for Seneca. So the Cats continue to chew up yardage.
That's the way you want to do it. He got 2 carries and 13 yards.
Well, and I will tell you this, the fullback dive with Schrager is pretty safe. He puts both hands on the football and just plows ahead.
Yeah, tonight that would be very good.
So again, out of the double wing, wide splits from the tight ends. 10:35 to go in the third quarter from the far side hash, right to left. Nate Couples off the right side. He'll get dragged down around the 43-yard line after he picks up about 5. Phillips on the stop for Seneca. It'll bring up 2nd and 5 for Wilmington. Out to the 42-yard line. And I will promise you, Cats normally want to run clock. They really want to run clock now.
They really
shorten this game as much as they can and get out of here. In this rain, all kinds of weird stuff can happen, injuries and everything else. Just shorten the amount of plays you got to be out there. 2nd down and 5 from the 42. Wilmington 42. Under center is Billy Moore. Going to hand it off again to Schrager up the middle. He got stood up after a gain of about 3. Schrei on the stop for Seneca. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2 as Hunter Kachuk back in for Couples.
Probably testing a Couples knee or ankle out, see how he did.
Yeah, well, and he's out, too, trying to get all the mud out of his cleats, which is another problem. He's over here hammering away at him on the sideline, and now we'll get ready to head back in just a second. That is the advantage, by the way, in having 3 backs that you can rotate, because you can do stuff like that. 3rd down and 2 from the Wilmington 45. Wide splits out of the double wing again. Kachuk off the right side. Hunter gets shoved ahead and gets all the way across midfield and goes all the way inside the Seneca 45 to the 44. A gain of 11 yards and a Wildcat self-storage first down. Boy, that's just a bunch of guys moving a pile.
Yeah, it sure is. Guess what? Schrager never carried the ball in the first half at all. Now he switched the gears. Brian Schrager let him run a while.
And again, for the Cats, it's very advantageous because you're not risking anything around the end. And if he's getting 3-4 yards at a time,
that's all you need.
You can also, hang on to the football a little bit too. So again, out of the double wing, wide splits. Billy Moore under center will hand it on. No, Billy Moore keeps it off the left side, and he might go to the 30, 20, 15, and Moore's thrown out of bounds at the 10. How in the world is that not a horse collar? So no horse collar called, but 2 hands inside the back of the jersey. And it'll be a Wildcat self-storage first down.
Yards?
A gain of 32 yards. So out of the double wing here. Wide splits, handoff left side. This is, I think that's Ketman again, inside the 10 down near the 8. So I'll bring up 2nd and goal from there as the clock continues to roll. 7:45 and counting here in the third quarter.
We're going to give him 2 yards? 1.
Gain of 2 yards. Again, honestly, for the Cats, this isn't the worst thing in the world to get a few extra downs and burn some more clock as long as you end up in the end zone.
Yeah, as long as you can get up in the end zone, that's just fine.
So 2nd down and goal from the 8. Moore going to keep it again inside the 5. Billy Moore is going to score again. Touchdown Wilmington, 8 yards out. And the Cats now lead it 34-0 with 7:08 to go in the third quarter. So the Cats score again. Now Wilmington going to try the extra point here. Went a little sideways the last time the Cats attempted this, but we'll see what happens here.
Might as well practice a little bit in the weather.
So somebody needs a football somewhere along the line. The ball boy trying to track it down over here on the near side. Cats missing a football. They finally do track one down. So Van Dyne will bring it out there, and we'll see what happens here. Ostheim to hold. Ostheim to kick out of the hole to Finn Bryant. That'd be an interesting reversal.
Yeah, you had me thinking there.
Good snap, good hold. The kick bum, Evan Ostheim is good. And the Cats lead it 35-0 with 7:08 to go in this third quarter. Take a break, come back with more Cats playoff football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned.
So Wilmington leads at 35-0. The kick comes down to the 13, picked up there across the 15 to the 20, and spinning away a Schrei out across the 30, maybe to the 31, and that's about it. So that's where Seneca will start, 1st and 10. 6:58 to go here in the third quarter. Cats will see if they can get it to the 40-point mark and get the clock running. Once that happens, I think you'll see a lot of these starters rotate up. But, of course, you got to get there first. And Seneca is very capable of putting points on the board if you let down at all.
Oh, he didn't get here by having a bad team. And really keep your eyes open.
1st and 10 from the 30. This is Schrei again off the left side. Just nothing doing there. So no gain. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 for Seneca.
Who was it carrying?
So Schrei off that left side. But Wilmington is so stout against the run that it's difficult when you come in and that's what you do.
They play all year, every year, running, defending it, running against the opposition, and boy, they spend so much time doing it.
So out of the T formation again, 2nd and 10, and off the right side, out across the 30 to the 32. Knoble picks up maybe 2 yards. It'll bring up 3rd. Actually, it'll give them, looks like a yard. Bring up 3rd and 9. So 5:50 and counting here in this third quarter. So out of that T formation, Varlin Now a halfback pass down the near sideline is incomplete. The Cats had two defenders back there, Moore and Kettman. Back out defending Sheedy. And it'll bring up 4th down for Seneca. And I'll give them credit. They at least went to something in the bag of tricks and tried to make it happen.
Yeah.
Every now and then you gotta try it, see what you get. So Kettman will drop back. The Cats will get set to return this kick. Wilmington up 35-0 with 5:32 to go here in the third quarter. It's an interesting punt formation.
Oh, there he goes.
So Kettman will go back and just get on top of the football back around the 27. And that's where Wilmington will start 1st and 10. So this Cats offensive group back out there, but a couple of new guys into the lineup for the Cats. So it's Dane Van Dyne and Jay Nevels who check in.
Sure enough, they haven't played yet tonight. No,
Again for the Cats, Holman checks out, Couples checks out. Those two have dealt with their shares of injuries lately. Holman just back tonight. Couples got banged up early in the game, so they're not taking any chances with him. Chuck and Kettman also out. So Nevels and Van Dyne are the running backs here. That should be a legal motion, should it not? Off the near side, this is Nevels. Out across the 35 to the 38. There's a really late flag. I think the far side official got talked into it by the coaching staff. But it for sure was 2 men in motion. There is no doubt about that one.
Well, the fans' emphasis brought out the right call.
The two wingbacks both started sprinting toward each other when the ball was...
That was kind of not in secret, was it?
No, that one was more than obvious. So 1st and 15 from the Wilmington 22. 5 minutes to go here in this third quarter. The Cats leading at 35-0. Again, with different backs in the game now. Nevels to the near side. I believe that's Van Dyne. Dane Van Dyne to the far side. Actually, it might be Nevels off this near side out to the 30, 35, and Nevels all the way out to the 38-yard line. Boy, Jay Nevels has really done a good job.
Yes, he's been very helpful.
So, gain of 17 yards and a Wildcat self-storage 1st down. So Zach Oland will check out here. Oland getting a little bit of a break. So again, the Cats working out of this double wing. Moore under center. Pitch comes right side. This is Dane Van Dyne across the 45 out to the 47-yard line before he's tripped up. Van Dyne will pick up 7 yards, bring up 2nd and 3. Cats continue to rotate people in. Big Sam Payne will check in. 6'4", 320-pound senior checks into the lineup. And by the way, Sam the other night at Catbackers got a Player of the Week award. He's one of the he's into powerlifting.
Really?
And back in there now with that right guard spot. So 2nd down and 3. Nevels off the right side out to midfield. Or is it Van Dyne? I can't. 16, 18 look very, very similar to each other when everything's dirty. It is Van Dyne. He'll pick up a gain of 3 and a Wildcat self-storage 1st down. So Bryson Mentz will continue with the quarterbacking duties here. Dane Van Dyne brings his gloves over to the near sideline.
Brings his gloves over.
Down to 3:15 to go in the third quarter. The Cats leading at 35-0. And with a double wing again. Van Dyne, right side across midfield, down to the 45 before he's tripped up. A gain of 5. Camden Allen and Brody Strong rotate in for the Cats. Out comes Kuipers and Wilson. A couple of the last remaining starters here. Now Declan Moran checks out as Ethan Winker into the lineup. So the Cats doing their best to get as many starters out of this game as they can, avoid any sort of injury, and move on to the quarterfinals.
Give those guys that don't get to play a lot time to play.
Out of the double wing again. Neville's off the left side. Almost broke it free again. Still churning. Down to the 41-yard line of Seneca. Neville's will pick up 4 yards and bring up 3rd and 1 for the Cats.
For the Irish, 3rd down and 1 for the Wildcats.
So this Cats second unit doing its job of just getting first downs and working clock.
Yeah, that's just all the coach wants them right now.
By the way, I think Cutter's still in there at center, which might not be a bad idea on a night like this. This is Van Dyne. Got tripped up after a gain of 2, but it will be enough for a Wildcat self-storage first down. Colin Van Dyne will check in. Jack Cutter comes out, so the lone starter left in there for the Cats finally rotates out.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. A little bit of water out there.
Coming up on 1 minute to go here in this third quarter. And pitch comes left side. We have a flag down. It is a false start on Wilmington. So it'll go back from the 39 to the 44. They'll wind that clock. 1st and 15 for the Cats.
It's almost a blessing for Wilmington to have that little extra room to run in. We should like to get that 40 points.
Mentz under center. Back to Neville's trying to get the edge. And Jay tripped up down at the 43. Zebediah Maxwell on the stop. And that will bring us to the end of quarter number 3. Wilmington leads it 35-0. We'll head to quarter number 4 in this 2A second round playoff matchup after this timeout on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling along with all the extras like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington. The attorneys and staff at Odekirk and Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk and Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864, visit online at odekirklaw.com, or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, or Wilmington today.
So the Cats lead at 35-0 going into the fourth quarter here. So the Cats will have it second down and about 15 from the Seneca 44. Again, this second team offense for the Cats done a pretty good job of chewing up some clock. Out of the double wing here, Mentz under center. Neville's off the left side. He'll get stacked up for no gain.
A little slow in getting started.
It'll bring up third down and 15.
3rd and 15 for the Wildcats.
The clock continues to roll, 11:40 and counting here in this fourth quarter. The Cats will be at home next week. Well, unless there's just some real insane thing that I'm not aware of, to take on Tri-Valley in the quarterfinals next Saturday. So 3rd and 15. And Mentz going to keep it himself, and he might go to the end zone. Bryson Mentz, 10-5, touchdown Wilmington. 44-yard touchdown run. Bryson Mentz cruises into the end zone, and the Cats lead it 41-0 with 11:09 to go in the fourth quarter, and that will also get the clock running, which no one here is going to complain about.
Every one of those kids out there probably saying, rest, it's about time.
Yeah, let it get there and let this thing roll.
I still can't believe it out there in those wet clothes.
So the Cats, again, will attempt an extra point.
You know, I don't even like getting out of the pool and having to get in the, let alone doing this.
So the Cats leading at 41-0 pending the extra point here. Good snap, good hold. The kick from Ostheim is good as well.
Good.
Wilmington leads at 42-0 with 11:09 to go in the game. Take a break. Come back with more Cats playoff football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davie Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles. The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILchamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington.
So the Cats will get set to kick it off, leading at 42-0 over Seneca with 11:09 to go in this one. So Aiden Davis will get a chance to kick a little bit here. So Aiden approaches, slips as he kicks it, and it just bounces down, picked up at the 25, and now slipping and falling at the 30 is the returner Varland.
At the 26, returns it 4 yards before slipping down. 1st and 10, Irish at the 31-yard line, 32-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for Seneca from their own 32-yard line. Again, the Irish leaving the starting group end. Particularly, it's the last game of the year. It's playoffs. We'll see if he can end the year on a high note and see if he can get some points in this second round matchup. Out of the T formation here, Varland under center, and we have a flag down on the far side.
Flag on the play.
It's offside on Wilmington. Somebody lined up offside, I think. Middle of that line. So go from 1st and 10 to 1st and 5.
1st and 5 for the Irish.
So the clock will continue to roll. 10 minutes to go. Again, Cats to play Tri-Valley next week, who pulled off an upset today over Rockridge, who was undefeated and one of the highest ranked teams in 2A. And there's a fumbled snap. And again, Varland will get back atop of the football, but now it will move to 3rd down. Or, excuse me, 2nd down and 4. So again, the Cats have rotated in a lot of second and third teamers defensively. Getting some time out there out of the T formation. Varlin ran into somebody, then handed it off left side. And I think that's Schrei gets run out of bounds over here on the near side. So Schrei will pick up 9 yards. It's enough for a Seneca first down.
First down.
Yep. 8:50 to go here in this fourth quarter. Seneca again trying to finish this one on a positive note. Back to the T formation here. And another fumbled snap, and Wilmington's got it again. Gunnar Varlin has had some issues tonight under center and can't come up with that football either. And the Cats end up forcing another turnover. Kirchner forces that, or actually picks up the turnover. So 8:15 and counting here in this one, as Seneca has rotated in a lot of second teamers here. As Varlin will check out, basically most of the starting unit for Seneca will check out.
Yeah, might as well let the guys play out.
So 1st and 10 from the Seneca 45. Mentz under center, pitches it back. This down to the 42, maybe the 41. Dane Van Dyne on the carry will pick up 2, maybe 3 yards. 7:30 and counting here in this one. Sure to stick around for the post-game show, brought to you by Warren's Collision Center over there in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. We will give you your final totals tonight. Full check of the IHSA football playoff scoreboard, brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. And we'll talk to Coach Reentz as well. Do all that on the post-game show, brought to you by Warren's Collision Center here in just a little bit. About 7 minutes of running clock left. Mentz up under center. And handoff to the fullback. Up the middle, down to the 35. Pyle still going forward, down to the 32-yard line. That'll be a gain of 9 yards for Travis Van Dyne. So Van Dyne picks up 9 yards.
Makes it down inside the 35-yard line to the 30.
Travis Van Dyne.
Gain of 8 on the play. 1st and 10 for Wilmington.
Thank you.
So a Wildcat self-storage first down. Again, the Cats going pretty deep into the running back stable here and still picking up yardage. Mentz under center, pitches it back. I think this is Neville's again. He got hit in the hole and then just tried to bang forward. We'll pick up a good 6 yards there on first down. Cats continue to rotate some people in. Will Slayton will check in for Sam Payne. Rotating back in again is Caleb Rouse. He'll replace Winker. .5:25 to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, out of that double wing, Mentz under center. Pitches it back right side. Inside the 20. Down near the 17-yard line goes that run. Dane Van Dyne will pick up down to the 16. Picks up 10 yards. And enough for a Wildcat self-storage first down. Clock continues to roll. 5 minutes to go here in this one. As Colin Van Dyne back into the lineup.
Colin. There's another one?
Oh, there's a handful of Van Dynes.
I missed that one.
Mentz under center, back to Neville's off that left side inside the 10-yard line before he's finally tripped up. A gain of 6 yards. Bring up 2nd down and 4.
Seneca on the tackle for the Irish.
This kind of a situation, it's just what coach would like. Just 4, 5, 6 yards.
Yeah, churn up some yards, run clock, get everybody out healthy, and get into next week.
Our umbrellas might be a problem before long.
So 3:50 and counting here in the 4th. Mentz up under center. Pitches it back. I think this is Van Dyne again trying to get to the 1st down marker. I don't think he got there. A gain of 3 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. Payne back in there along with Slayton. For the Cats here, and you pick up this 1st down, I think it'll just be taking knee time. Got to pick up the 1st down, though.
A small item.
Boy, it has not stopped raining since we got here either. Still raining. Mentz going to keep it himself down inside the 5, around the 3-yard line. That's enough for a Wildcat self-storage 1st down. So the Cats are going to take a knee and wrap this one up. Seneca, with their first loss of the year, finished the year 10-1. But wow, what a run it's been for the Irish lately. This team has been
last 3 years have been really good.
Perpetually a very good football team. They were again this year, but this Wilmington team is something else. And, just looking at 2A, somebody's going to have to come up with something pretty major. But it's possible. That's why you got to keep going. But Mentz will take a knee. Clock will run. But right now the Cats are playing so good on both sides of the football, then it makes it pretty difficult.
That's the bigger parking lot by the softball field. The back gate on the canal is also open for exiting. There are 2 exits.
So the clock will continue to run. The Cats are going to take a couple more knees, and we'll get out of here. Make sure to stick around for the post-game show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Big thank you to Warren. We'll get there in just a second. I think Mentz will have to take maybe 2 more snaps here or so. Well, one thing about it is with that upset from Tri-Valley, Wilmington will be able to head back to Wilmington quarterfinal-wise. It looks like, for the most part, it would be there. Then maybe semifinals will be on the road, but never know. Crazy things happen all the time in the playoffs, so you just got to go 1 week at a time. Cats will need to take 1 more snap here. I don't want to wait for this thing to get down under 40 seconds so they don't have to snap it again. And there it is, and that will do it. Cats with the final snap of the game. Wilmington will win it 42-0 over Seneca as the Cats move to 10-1 on the year. Welcome into the postgame show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center in Braidwood, where they care beyond the repair. Big thank you to Warren. Take a break, come back with your final stats, and 1 more chunk of the IHSA football scoreboard from Odekirk and Rhodes as well. We'll do that after this timeout on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours, here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916.
Welcome into the postgame show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center over there in Braidwood, where they care beyond the repair. 815-458-3300 for Warren's Collision Center. The Cats win it tonight 42-0 over Seneca here in the second round of the playoffs, which sends Wilmington into the quarterfinals to take on Tri-Valley. And that game, I believe, should be at home next week. See how all that ends up playing out. But Cats get a win tonight, 42-0 over Seneca. We're working on your final stat totals, which we will give you here in just a second. But first things first, let's go to the IHSA football scoreboard. Give me just 1 second here to reload this, and then we'll give you the final look at those totals. If I can, not really sure why it's doing that to me at the moment. I was going to go through these for you real quick. Here we go. Finally, it ended up doing that. So last night in 3A, Richmond Burton 57-7 over Aurora Central Catholic. It was IC Catholic 37-27 over Bishop McNamara. Rochester 55-21 over Waterloo. Coal City a 49-42 winner over Dixon. In 5A, Belvedere North 30-25 over Caneland. St. Lawrence 35-21 over Bradley Bourbonnais in 6A. In 7A, Batavia 42, Glenbard East 21. Hersey 42-21 over Richards. In 8A, Barrington 38-20 over Glenbrook South. Lincoln Way East 55-13 over Palatine. And Fremd 45-21 over LaGrange. Now today, 1A, Hardin Calhoun 22-14 over Greenfield. These are all finals. Mount Sterling 16-8 over Camp Point Central. Gibson City Melvin Sibley loses to Lena Winslow 43-14. Stockton 26, Hayworth 3. Carrollton 34-19 over Dupo. Casey Westfield 48-14 over Nokomis. Kewanee 33-26 over Deer Creek Mackinac. And Dwight continues to win 43-14 over Clifton Central. In 2A, Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond 41-22 over Cumberland. Flora 17, Pana 14. Westville 49-13 over DuQuoin. Monroe Forsyth 41-6 over Johnston City. Tri-Valley defeats Rockridge 24-17. Farmington 21, Aurora Christian 14. El Paso Gridley 31-0 over Sterling Newman Central Catholic. In 3A, Byron 38-12 over Pecatonica. Williamsville 53-14 over Porta. It's Monmouth Roseville 29-28 over Bloomington Central Catholic. St. Joe Ogden 42-32 over Roxana. Tolono Unity 21, Monticello 20. Vandalia 42-21 over Greenville. In 4A, Geneseo 29-0 over Macomb. Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin defeats Carterville 45-15. Breeze Central 42-7 over Freeburg. Cahokia 36, Jacksonville 13. Montini, no problems with Peoria Notre Dame 47-17. Morris in a wild one beats Metamora 64-50. In 5A, Wheaton St. Francis 41-38 over Prairie Ridge. Oak Forest 34, Bloomington 14. Washington 38-14 over Muhammad Seymour. Providence 35-25 over Kankakee. King 21-6 over Corliss. Lake Zurich 35-0 over Antioch. Simeon 36, Community West 21 from Normal. Fenwick 45-7 over Rolling Meadows. East St. Louis 53-14 over Chatham Glenwood. Dunlap 28, Crete-Monee 21. Naz defeats Warrenville tonight 28-7. Let's see, Downers Grove North 19-7 over Glenbard West. St. Rita 31-28 over Lincoln Way Central. Lincoln Way West 43-20 over Kenwood. Glenbard North 22-14 over Moline. Brother Rice leads Jacobs 46-0 with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter there. Maine South 33-29 over Hinsdale Central. Oswego 45, Lane 10. Mount Carmel 48-29 in the fourth quarter. Lockport leads Homewood Flossmoor 21-14 with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter there. Bolingbrook 6-0 over Warren with 10 minutes left to go in the second quarter. That is a full check of the IHSA Football Scoreboard Playoff Edition, brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. And again, the big scores that you need to keep an eye on: Rock Ridge losing today to Tri-Valley. So Tri-Valley will come to Wilmington next week in the quarterfinals. That'll be an interesting one out at Becker Field at Rink Stadium. And we'll see how that matchup goes. Farmington with the win over Aurora Christian. So Aurora Christian's out. Farmington moves on. A lot of interesting things going on in 2A. DuQuoin lost fairly big today. So with all that said, Wilmington right now is playing at a level that is very, very high. And a lot of teams looking at them going, what in the world are we going to do with this? And the rain tonight slowed down Wilmington a little, but again, the Cats just kept scoring and forced some turnovers and really did everything that they needed to do tonight. This is the postgame show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. 815-458-3300. We'll check your final stats here. Coach Raintz will be up in just a minute as well. Rushing the football, Seneca, Gunnar Varland, 10 carries for 2 yards tonight. Ethan Oton, 4 rushing attempts for 7 yards. Liam Knoble, 2 rushing attempts for, or make that 3 rushing attempts for 4 yards. Cam Schrei, 4 rushing attempts for 4 yards tonight. Seneca, 21 rushing attempts for 35 yards. Gunnar Varland was 1 of 3 through the air for 9 yards. 44 total yards of offense tonight for Seneca. For Wilmington rushing the football, Billy Moore, 10 carries for 78 yards and a touchdown. Bryson Mentz, 3 carries for 47 yards and a touchdown. Ryan Kettman, 7 rushing attempts, 69 yards and a touchdown. Tiandre Hollingsworth, 1 carry for 9 yards. Dane Van Dyne, 7 carries for 31 yards. Nate Couples, 4 rushing attempts for 45 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jay Nevels, 6 carries for 35 yards. Hunter Kachuk ran the ball 7 times for 83 yards and a touchdown. Ryan Schrager, 4 attempts for 27 yards. Wilmington did not attempt a pass, but they ran the ball 51 times for 393 yards and 6 touchdowns. That's pretty good, rushing the football. They outgained Seneca 393 to 35. And Wilmington gets the win 42-0. Oh, here is Coach Raintz, as he will join us here on the postgame show, brought to you by Warren's Collision Center. The Cats win it 42-0 tonight over Seneca. As Wilmington came to town, we thought it was going to be maybe a little bit of rain tonight, but boy, it turned into a lot of rain before it was all said and done. And Seneca had trouble with the snap, but it seemed like for the most part, your guys tonight hung on to the football, churned out yardage, and just made things work. Beat a solid, undefeated team, and keep moving on in the playoffs.
That was one of the biggest. That's the biggest thing. We came over here, and Seneca's does such a great job with that offense, and defensively, our defensive linebackers, everybody did their job tonight. Just trying to go back to it, and then in these conditions, I mean, it'd be cold and wet now,
Yep.
and so our kids battled through that. Thanks, to all of our fans that came out and sat in our rain, and we had a good following tonight. When we come out of the locker room and we heard our fans cheering, that was awesome. And but we had to play assignment football on defense. Offensively, we were able to move the ball. The biggest thing I got tonight is I don't think we had a bad snap or we fumbled the ball.
No.
Yeah.
No,
and so in these conditions, and obviously we were on the right side of some of their turnovers, okay, and we played on a short field, which obviously helps us, especially when you're, we talk about momentum in the playoffs is so big, John, and we held it tonight, I thought, all night long.
And, with them rushing the football out of that T formation style, and that's what they do, given our numbers are not official, obviously, but when you're talking 35, 40 yards for a night of defending a team that really knows how to run that fake game and everything, boy, you mentioned it, assignment football, and just shut it down. That first drive, a couple of first downs, and then after that, you shut it down.
I mean, you talked about this the other day, and we talked about our kids. Hey, that first couple series, it's going to take a little bit for you to figure out exactly how they're faking and who has the ball and this and that. And I was glad after, they had the big the quarterback run right off the bat. And then we were on the right side, obviously, of some turnovers. But you're right. They're one of the best faking teams in the state. And so we got some momentum there toward the end and had a couple other touchdowns. Real happy with that. We got a ton of kids in again, and got a lot of playoff experience that way. And then here we go during the game, we find out that we're going to be back home next week, and our kids were fired up about that too. So.
Yeah, you get to go back home for the quarterfinals and a team that we're very familiar with.
I know.
In Tri-Valley. I mean, Tri-Valley or Rock. It's been a while with Rockridge, but Tri-Valley's been very, very recent. And they come to town after knocking off an undefeated team, and they're going to be ready to go. Yeah,
I know they got Coach Rob does a great job, and they're in it every year. I mean, when we see each other in the off season, hey, how about we not play each other next year? Okay, and sure enough, we are going to play each other, but hey, it's credit to both programs. We got a ton of respect for them, just like we do with Seneca right here. And I tell you, Seneca's kids, as we see their seniors walk off the field, they got a lot to be proud of. And we just happen to be on top of our game tonight, and we're on the right side of some turnovers. But hey, huge win. Anytime you're going to the quarterfinals, it's great for your program, great for everybody, and we're going to be at home, and hopefully it's not raining. John, how about that one?
I hope not.
Yeah.
Let's keep that off for the rest of this year, please. I shouldn't complain, though. I got to sit here.
You guys,
all day. No. Well, speaking of which, go home, get dry, enjoy this win for a little bit, at least, before you start worrying about next week. But it's another big win. You go to the quarterfinals again, and another deep run here in the playoffs.
You got it. Well, really appreciate you guys coming out for the coverage. And again, to all of our fans that showed up here and everybody that listened to you. By the way, hi to my mother and father in Bloomington, who I know are listening.
There you go.
And they couldn't make it because of the weather, but they love listening. So anyway, go Cats. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Jeff Reintz joining us here on the postgame show, brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. 815-458-3300 for Warren's Collision Center. All right, let's wrap things up. I think we're all ready to go home. Parker sitting here wet and cold. I think we're good with getting out of here tonight. Any final words of wisdom over there?
Not a lot of wisdom. Just, I didn't think that that they would have so much trouble with the weather more than we would.
Yeah,
that was to me an amazing thing. The other thing was, Wilmington never lost a step on the running. Their backs just keep on chiseling.
All right, Cats win. They move to 10-1 on the year. We'll see you next week, probably Saturday. Again, it has to be Saturday. Both teams played on Saturday. It's definitely going to be Saturday. So they'll probably be somewhere around this same time. We'll let you know. The Catbacker page will as well. Cats win at 42.